The plan for this stream, I thought I would play some rapid chess. I'm currently at my rapid peak rating. Are you going to stream into June 1st? That's the plan. It's 10:09 p.m. Assuming the stream goes about 2 hours, I'll make it to June 1st. Oh, did I lose my rapid?
Let's go.
I think I became inactive. My last rapid game was like over a week ago. So I'm probably not on the leaderboard. So if my rapid rating becomes legit, I would be close to top 30. All right, let's hop in the pool. What was the biggest simul? Oh, biggest simul ever done? I'm actually not sure. Let me fix the board. All right, I think that should be good. Okay, new opponent. They have provisional rapid rating, but okay, decently strong, like blitz and bullet player. Yeah, Rossolimo is becoming very popular these days. I've been encountering this line more frequently. At some point, I was playing g6 on move 3 a bit more, but this is a line that I've played a bit more frequently over the years.
Sending energy from sunny Gold Coast, Australia.
Oh my quack. Thanks for that. So d4. If I take a few options here. Okay, I could take on d4 with the pawn. I think I'll start with this. If white takes back with pawn, I take and... Okay, that doesn't happen though. If I take again... Queen takes, I have knight c6. I'm thinking about bishop here, just keeping the tension. Let's do this. I'm a little bit delayed in developing the king side. It's a question how to bring out the bishop and castle. Preferably sooner rather than later. Thank you, Ipala. Appreciate all the hype. I could take with queen as well. I mean, taking with knight is more natural though. Simply making way for my bishop to develop. So the center is liquidated a little bit. In long term, this bishop should have a pretty nice life. White has to figure out how to develop the queen side. Like, it's not entirely clear what this bishop does, because these squares are not so desirable. And it's hard to remove the knight. We might see a move like a4. a4, b4. White has a decision to make. Oh, that's nice to hear, KB Roulette. Been working while Eric has been streaming. Good timing. My schedule has been a little bit sporadic recently. Okay, rook e1. That's a flexible move. I think I just started with bishop e7. I do have to watch out for some potential attack. Like queen h5 would already threaten knight takes e6. But okay, if queen h5, I would take the knight first. And takes, and then probably knight f6. I mean, rook e1 is a very flexible move. Like, it's type of move white ends up playing at some point. But it's still a question what the development plan is for white. Because if knight comes to d2, then I'm happy to take. I don't think white wants to be left with isolated queen's pawn. Queen g4. It's aggressive. Okay, so I'd like to castle. There's a few things to take note of. Like castling knight e6, pawn e6, queen e6, rook f7 looks fine. Although bishop b3, knight a5, I think black's doing fine there. And castling bishop h6, I can play bishop f6. That also looks okay. So I don't think I should be too afraid. I mean, it looks kind of scary. As long as I don't get mated. There's also this line, I could also just play king h8. Avoid the headache with bishop b3. So it seems like I've managed to find better harmony for my minor pieces than white. Sometimes this is like the main goal out of the opening is just to find good squares for minor pieces so they can work together. But white wants to checkmate me. Hey, it's Nate Brady. What's up, Nate? You're joining in a nice time. This is my first game of the stream. We're doing some more slow-paced, chill, rapid chess. I know Nate likes to do the same type of content. So, yeah, actually queen h3 is a little bit annoying. Because h6, already I have to calculate bishop h6. Knight f6 walks into bishop g5. Maybe that's the way to go. Knight f6. I think I start with knight f6. Knight's just better here. It's good defender. And then if bishop g5, I'll have a few options. Like g6, h6, and knight d4 will be the candidate moves. Yeah, shout out to Nate.
Ringing in June with Rosen chess.
Oh yes, my June. Also, oh yes, my chess. Thank you, Dilbo. Okay, bishop g5 is played, so white's threatening to take and take. What I would like to do is take on d4, and then if takes, that's good for black, but after takes, I can't take because takes, and that would be bad for black. What I could do is take, and then h6. And then just calculate like takes, queen d5, threatening g2, also preparing queen h5. Wow, queen h5, there's a line, bishop h7, king h8. I'd be doing fine. Yeah, this requires being very careful and being aware of the opponent's resources. But I don't think the sack works. And if bishop h6 doesn't work, then either bishop has to take or retreat. We might see bishop e3 holding onto the pawn. But then I'll be happy to just keep bringing pieces in while making some threats. Welcome back, Adfast. Yeah, we have a daily sub count, but I don't know if it's working. I tried to set up a stream label. I had the idea of like however many people sub this stream, I'll do that number of puzzles in Puzzle Streak. I don't know if I have to refresh it. Oh, subscriber. Wait. Let's try this. Oh no, that didn't work. Oh, there we go. Okay. I think that's the right number. I think it's certain Eric will win because he has a tea advantage. I'm actually not drinking tea, even though I'm drinking from a mug. Sorry if I'm misleading anyone, but I'm just drinking ice water. It's really hot. It's getting hotter in St. Louis. Okay, rook c8, hitting a bishop. Knight c3, b4 would be nice. Yeah, this is a type of move I can play pretty quickly. Okay, so I don't have queen d5. a5 comes to mind. So white wants to like develop the knight and play rook d1. I think I'll play this move. A nice central square. There are cases where I just want to take the bishop, get the bishop pair. I'm still not too afraid of this. Like takes bishop g5.
Thanks for all the hard work, Eric.
Oh, thank you, Pawn Nugget. Thanks for the 3 months. If I take, thank you, Pawn Nugget. So taking would get the bishop pair, but allow pawn takes, and the pawn's no longer isolated. Takes, and e5. That looks nice, actually. So the position's transforming a little bit. The plan is after, assuming f takes e3, and if queen takes, I have this move. Yeah, the idea is to play e5, which does kind of strengthen the bishop, but I'm just aiming to like break apart these pawns. This pawn's pinned to the knight. If knight f3, I could take and take in with a pawn, maybe. I guess there's rook d1, bishop f6 in that line. Knight f3, I could also take. But the bishop pair does really enjoy the open positions. All right, so yeah, what's happening? Bishop f3, queen f3 takes rook d1. Bishop f6, king h8. Bishop f6, queen e4. I think I go for it. This does give white some like practical chances because we're entering a off the card bishop situation. But a pawn is a pawn. Yeah, this pin is a little bit annoying. But here I can take and then something like queen f6 or queen b6. Yeah, it might become a little bit drawish. Just blunder checking here. So the bishop and queen have a pretty solid relationship. And b2 is attacked. So after takes, white probably has to defend something like rook d2. I do have to watch out for f7 being a weakness. But in the line, like takes, rook d7 takes. If rook here, I'm checking on the back rank. If rook here, I play back, cutting off the tack. So white can't snack. All right, bishop b2. And queen defends a6. f7's defended 3 times. There's no funny tactic with taking. Like the rook's not overworked because f7's overdefended. Oh. Okay, that move I kind of forgot about. It's not the end of the world, but it's not pleasant. I want to play rook b8. Rook b8. Queen c6. Take. Let's play this. This is a playable move. I don't know why White would do it, though. Okay. So the bishop does defend g7. I'm still up a pawn, but the rook is kind of active. Yeah, I might take some help on the clock to win this one. I'm not really risking losing. All right, let's play the... I also have this move. Oh, that doesn't work, though. Let's play this.
Hi.
All right, now I can play a5. Kind of risky. Okay. I maybe missed a free rook there. Yeah. I was low on time. Oh, what to do? Is the nature of no increment chess. Was I ever losing? I don't think I was ever losing. Some missed chances to win a bit more cleanly. Yeah, maybe taking on f3 wasn't the best decision. Like maybe I should take on d4 and keep the light squared bishop. Engine likes it. I missed rook f1 though. Yeah. So what is bishop e5? Still rook f1. Ah, queen h4. Wow. Fancy. A very tricky position to play. Yeah, overall, I felt like I had a decent position from the opening. I should check the theory here. I think rook e1. Yeah, rook e1's the main line. c3 is playable. d5 apparently is a bit premature. So in master's database, the main line is bishop e7. So what if d4? cd4. What if cd4? Ah, knight b4.
Super
Okay.
appreciate you and all your great content. I love
Oh, thanks so
hearing
much.
about how you think about chess. Thanks for everything.
I appreciate that. Too many kins. Happy 1 year. Yeah, this is a line that has a lot of branches. So I've played it over the years, but I haven't studied it too in depth because it's a little bit annoying to like develop a whole repertoire when white has so many early options. But sometimes it's just about prioritizing the most common options. So here d5. Most people play e5. Yeah, this is a very typical idea where we prevent white from playing d4, open the bishop. Can I play you? Can I play bowling with you? Yeah, I used to be like very into bowling. These days, I only get a chance to go bowling like maybe once or twice a year. Maybe I'll try to go in Vegas at some point. Okay, I boosted my rating. I'm at a new peak. Let's go. 2673. Uh 29th on the website. It's probably one of my best like ranks of all time on Lichess. I mean, to be fair, Rapid isn't as competitive as like Blitz and Bullets, but still feels like an accomplishment. Wow, Peshka. Peshka's a streamer who's I forgot how old he is. Maybe 13 years old. Leading the way. Thank you, Wa Right. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start a puzzle streak. And I'll probably alternate between like rapid chess and puzzles. So we'll keep it very chill. People are welcome to like also try and solve the puzzles along with me. Um, Generally, these start off relatively easy. Although this one, oh yeah, this one's very easy. I was calculating takes, but this comes with check. So this is a free bishop, and then we're gonna take the rook with check. White has no time to checkmate us, and yeah, we win a rook there. Yeah, so I'll solve, or I'll try and get to 22 solved puzzles, or 24 solved puzzles. There's a small delay with the subcount, because yeah, up here is the number 24, and I'll try and like explain the thought process in finding the solution. Because I know for a lot of people, maybe it takes some time to actually comprehend what's going on in the position. Like here, there's a lot going on. Like Black's king is under fire, but the first thing that immediately pops out is like White's king is already being targeted. And there's some nice potential against g2, and the way to exploit that is bishop d4 check, And whatever white blocks with, we're going to mate. I think that's just mate in 2. Even rook f2, we take on g2 and the rook's pinned. Okay. We'll give it a thumbs up. So this one, I don't see right away, but I assume it's going to be some endgame tactic. And yeah, so the most forcing move, and really the only reasonable check in the position is g4. And then we can start calculating. Black has 3 legal moves. If we go through one by one, if king f4, it's mate in 1. King f6, it's a fork. And pawn takes, we take back, and black's in the same situation. So takes. And yeah, king f4, it's a fancy checkmate. But this is a fork. Okay. Okay, this looks like a simple fork. Yeah, simple fork. Fun fact, when pieces are on the same color square, so in this case, king and rook are on a light square, then the knight can fork them. If the king and rook were on different color squares, like light and dark, then the knight can't physically fork them. So it's a quick way to basically tell if pieces are forkable. Okay. This is made into, like, immediately when this puzzle like flashes, I see the queen knight hitting f2, and it's simple checkmate. All right, so this one, there is a pin in the position. It's kind of a not so common type of pin, but this rook is pinned to the other rook, which means we can take the queen, and if takes, it's a free rook. All right, so this is a king pawn ending. And generally with these, I mean, the first move I think is obvious, but we should still calculate. So, oh, there's a raid. Oh, Miss Cat Candy is a streamer. Oh, shout out to Miss Cat Candy. I'll have to follow you. I do appreciate it. If you're just joining, we're doing a mix of chess games and chess puzzles. I played one chess game. I hit a new rating peak. And now I'm going to try and get to 24 on this puzzle streak before I play more. I was just in the midst of calculating. So I'll draw arrows. Generally, you should do this without the arrows, but just to make life easier, king b4, king g7 takes. King b3, here. Yeah, we're way ahead. Maybe some people could blunder with f5. f5 takes here. It's still winning. Hey, it's Nemo. What's up, Nemo? Good to see you. Shout out to Nemo. Back-to-back raids. Hope you had a good stream. It's hard to do a full calculation. I keep getting raided every few moves. So f5 takes king here. Here, take, here. Hey, it's Brees, or B-Reese 85. Thanks for gifting. Okay, so yeah, f5 is just a bit slower. King f6 is the way to go. I didn't look at this line, but assume this takes. Yeah, takes. Ooh, fancy. Okay, that's actually a creative defense, which I did not see coming. So the idea is after takes, black will play this and try and trap our king in. Thankfully, after king f7, we have a5, and then black is in zugzwang. Just to show here, and then pawn moves we take, king moves we take, king moves here, we move up. Do gift subs count for the sub count? Yes, they do. It just increased from like 24, 25, now to 32. We've had 3 raids this stream, so welcome to all the new people. I'm doing Puzzle Streak. It's a mode where we just try and solve as many puzzles in a row as possible, and the puzzles do gradually get more difficult. This is a classic mating pattern. The pawn's defended by the knight, the king's on the edge. I forget what we call this. Something like the Arabian mate or the hook mate. Basically, we check, 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 and then if the king ends up on g7 or e7, it's going to be checkmate on e8 or g8. Yeah, and it forms the shape of a hook. Pawn defends knight, defends rook, checkmates king. Okay. Oh, maybe it's, yeah, maybe it has multiple names. Arabian mate. I was watching the Norway chess the other day, and Jovi was talking about the Arabian mate. I think it was in the game Fabiano against Magnus, like the final mating idea. Knight and rook working together. All right, so this is a classic one. F6 almost always weakens this diagonal, and we can exploit it with this and takes. And here we have a choice. Sometimes queen takes g6 is justified. In this case, it's just better to win material. Okay, this one's pretty simple, but I'll see who's the first person that can find it in chat. See how people, or how quick people can be. Fork, yeah. Sometimes knights to the opponent's back rank can be easy moves to overlook, but it's nice fork. This is another like pretty simple fork. So some of these I'll do a bit more quickly. This one, yeah, we have two captures. We can very quickly see this queen is overworked. It's defending both things. Now it's important to capture the correct piece, because if we take the bishop first, black can take here, hitting our queen. We don't win anything there. But if we take the rook first, we hit black's queen, and then we win the bishop very cleanly. Go back, or go forward. This one, I think it's just a free rook. We have the battery. White's king is very safe. Okay. Okay, so this one, it's all about the h-file. And I don't think black can even prevent checkmate. Very simply, rook h1. There's a dog barking outside my window. Yeah, so there's different types of forcing moves in chess. Like the common ones are attacks. Wait. What does Gotham always say? Threats, captures, checks, captures, attacks. But another type of forcing move is threatening mate in one or threatening force mate. And here, yeah, we just threaten mate. Oh, black can stop it, but loses a queen. Okay, so we have no queen here, but we have a swarm of pieces trying to hunt the black king. And here it's just about calculating the checking sequence. So the only logical check is bishop f8, and this will should lead to force mate. So if the king goes back, it's checkmate. And if the king moves forward, we have check. Only legal move f6, and then we take with mate. And yeah, the pieces do a great job just controlling all the squares around the king. Okay. 15. I could imagine how a lot of players could miss this one. Maybe be inclined to check on the back rank. But the check doesn't lead to anything after king f7. So the key is seeing the rook and the king, seeing the whole board, and the bishop simply double attacks. Yeah, this one, pretty simple. This will be a discovery, mainly exploiting the undefended bishop on f4. We can take and then take. So this one is I think a kind of recurring theme where there's a lot of things hanging and we have to find the right capturing sequence to win material. So if we take the knight, then it's just a trade. But if we take the bishop, we hit the queen, and if takes back, we end up a knight. And if takes, again, we're going to be up material. Like we either save the bishop or take the knight there. Okay. Okay, this one, very simple idea. The pawn is pinned, we take and take. And this one's a nice kind of classic attacking idea, I think. Still have to calculate though. Also trying to judge the difference. Like initially I just want to take and then queen h5. I'm trying to figure out why. So if we take here first, we allow knight takes d3. So yeah, it's important to take here first and then queen h5. Crushing attack. Oh, goodbye to the casual player. Is this considered a Greek gift? I guess in some sense. Yeah, Greek gift usually has a form of like you sack the bishop and then you bring a knight to g5 and queen to h5. But in this case, you sack the bishop and the queen's already coming to h5. Oh yeah, if king h8, then white's maybe not mating, but it's still crushing. I'm actually trying to figure out what I would play here. d5 actually looks really nice. d5 to remove the knight and then getting queen h5. Let's see what the engine thinks. Likes bishop d3. Oh, it just says all the bishop checks. What does it think about d5? Yeah, multiple ways to win. d5 maybe complicates things a little bit. Oh, I like this idea. This is very simple. Takes, queen e1. Queen h4 is unstoppable. Okay. Next one. So both queens are hanging. Our bishop's hanging. Materials equal. I think the move to start with here is taking the queen. White would have to take back, and then in that position, I think we have a simple tactic. Bishop e2. Winning material. Okay, I'm trying to get to 32. And then I'll move on to a rapid game. So this one, this rook is overworked. It's defending the rook and the queen. And we can very simply take the queen first, and then take the rook. It comes with checks, so we don't lose this rook. Okay, couple knights to capture. Sorry if I'm missing questions from previous puzzles. I don't think there's a way to go back. But hopefully the solutions make sense so far. So for this one, we are down a piece. I think I'll just start with the most forcing, like bishop takes h7, king takes, and then takes. King moves back, we take on f7. King moves to h-file. And then I think at the very end we have rook f3. Well, rook f3, queen d4. Okay, I think I'm back. Sorry about that. Thankfully that didn't happen during a game. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, we don't want to take this knight because queen d4. So I think we just get to this position. And oh, it likes rook f3. Yeah, I was calculating like let's say king h8, rook f3. At first I was scared of queen d4, but I guess black has no time to take the rook. And rook h3 is unstoppable. Queen e5 check. Bishop d6 check. I guess we have this move. Takes, and this is still coming. Oh, there's a funny line. Queen d8 preventing this. and then rook h1, and then queen c7, pinning the rook, and then king g1 checkmate. Checkmating with the king. Is it June yet? It's probably June for some people, but it's still May for another hour and 1 minute for me. Okay, continue. So 23. Yeah, this one, if we take the knight, we're losing, but thankfully we can move the king. The knight's pinned and we take GG. Oh yeah, some people on the East Coast have just 1 more minute until June. Or maybe a few more seconds. All right, this one is all about removing the knight so we can win e4. I think we just take. And in the very end, we take. And black's up a pawn, the king will come in. Yeah. Or this line. Yeah, this line, white's still fighting, but it's a winning rook ending for black. Okay, they're very gradually getting a little bit more difficult. Although this one I think is very simple. Like just a free knight. And our queen doesn't get trapped because we have c4. Okay. So this one, a lot of things are happening. Our bishop's attacked multiple times. I mean, the two main moves to consider are bishop e2 and bishop takes e5. I think it's important to realize the queen is overworked. This is defending d4. So simple line, takes. We attack the king and knight. Winning material. Okay, let's do 5 more. Oh, this one. I'll leave this one up to chat. White to move. Find the pork. Yeah, knight takes c6. Winning a pawn and exchange. Yeah, this one's a classic one. Looks like black just took a poison pawn. And here we can take... Oh, okay. So if queen takes, then bishop b5 check wins the queen. Bishop takes, we defend the knight. So for this one, we have to see a forcing line, but we have to see the whole board and spot this alignment. And the forcing line is check, king here, check, whatever takes, we win the rook. All right, let's do 2 more. This one I'll leave up to chat. This one's a nice one. I guess this is another type of pork. It's a little bit different from the last one because it requires a 2-move combination. Good job to those saying rook c2. First we pin, and then we fork. Okay, 1 more. Wow. So the bishop's defended. The knight's not defended, but be careful taking free things. If we take the knight, then we get mated. So there's something else that's not defended in the position that can be exploited. Yeah, queen c4, winning the rook. Although takes. Yeah, we have like b3 or queen e8 check. I should calculate this a bit more though. I guess white's up. Yeah, white's up 3 pawns. So even after takes, solid move like b3, and we're still up 2 pawns. I am Avalon. Oh, I think that I think the sub counter will update to 33 in just a moment, so I'll do 1 more for good measure in honor of I am Avalon. Happy 38 months. So one more, and then rapid chess. Okay, a lot going on here. A lot of things happening on the king side. We have the battery, the bishop's attacked. The biggest thing to be aware of is the queen's undefended and aligned with our queen. And that should signal some tactic. Now we do have to calculate a little bit. Rook g7, rook g7. And we should take again, and then take the queen. And after takes, in the final position, we have a queen for queen and pawn for rook. Wait a minute, why am I struggling? Rook and 2 bishops. Am I counting correctly? We're down a piece here. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is the right move, but I want to be sure of the final valuation. So takes. Yeah, it's queen for rook and 2 bishops. I mean, is there some forcing sequence towards the end? Like we have knight c7. I would go for this in a game because there's really no other good option. Like our rook's also attacked. But after takes, what would the move be? The queen e8 looks pretty strong with a threat of d5. And yeah, the knight coming into bishop would be pinned. Yeah, it looks like white's winning material there. Okay. Sometimes, like as these puzzles get more difficult, a big skill in solving them is evaluating the final outcome. So this one I want to check, like is queen e8 the best move? Because there's also knight d5, there's pawn d5. Let's check. It's not like completely winning. Is queen e8? Oh, queen e8's a blunder because rook b8. And then d5, the bishop can move first. But knight d5. Oh, knight d5 is nice. We want to recapture on f4 with a knight. Oh, flying penguin, the new prime sub. Okay, you boosted the counter to 34, so I'll do one more. And we have a king pawn ending. Okay. So I think the first line to look at is king e4 and look at the pawn race. Bloody Greg also solving with prime. Okay, let's try and get to 35 then. Okay, this time I'll calculate without drawing arrows. So king e4, king b3, king f3, king b4, king g3, king b5, h4, c4, h3, c6 is a draw. So king e4. King e4, king b3. Okay, there's a cool idea, which I think I know the theme. King e4, king b3, king f3, king b4. Takes, and then takes. And then king f4, c4, king e5, c5. h4, c6, king d6, king b6, h3, c7. No, wait, we're not working. Slawfox gifting 5. Thank you, Slawfox. Grand Mistress Arun. Shout out to Arun. Gifting to Piboki, Pythagoras. Okay, we're climbing higher. All right. Wait, let's not lose my streak here. So I was calculating this. Takes, and then moving back, but we waste too much time. c4. Oh, what if we play h4, c5, king e5, c6, king d6, king b6, h3, c7, King B. Yeah, I was thinking we get a situation where the pawn comes here and we play this, and we queen with check, but our pawn is still on h3 in that line. And king c4 is another move. Like king b2, and we're not winning. I'm really struggling here. King d5, king b3, king f3, king b4 takes, h4. Wait, why am I struggling? I miscalculate the initial line. Here, 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 here. Yeah, this is winning. Somehow I gave white an extra tempo in the initial line. I didn't double check it, but yeah, king e4, king b3, king f3 here takes h4. Not c5, which I think I looked at earlier, but c4 h3, and we're promoting first, and white's not promoting. I think I rejected this line, and then I started going down the rabbit hole of walking the king back. Yeah, so c7, we have queen b7. Okay. Good job to those who solved it quicker than me. So let's keep going here. Queen e7. Okay, I think this is a pretty simple one. Rooks are pinned. Although, yeah, like bishop takes e6 looks like free material, but queen takes e7 is even more free material. Be up a rook in the end. Yeah, that was a simple one. I imagine a lot of players get this wrong because they think it's a free rook and they don't realize that it's yeah, we're winning more material. Because if we take the rook, black has adequate compensation. Black actually has 2 pawns for the exchange. This is even better for black. Okay. Wow. Position like this makes me question which way is this pawn going.
Happy last stream
It's going this way.
First stream of June, Eric.
Oh, thank you, Scavum Dams. Happy 11 months. So we're playing black here. And we're down. Wow. So white has a rook for 4 pawns, but white's on the verge of queening. For this one, it's probably all about hunting down the white king. And we should calculate the forcing line. Is it just made in 2? I think it's just made in 2. Yeah, knight a3. Knight a3. It's not made in 1. Queen b2 looks like made in 1, but rook takes b2. Knight a3, almost made in 1. One legal move, and then queen a1 checkmate. It's very aesthetic that like all these squares are controlled. The queen, knight, and pawn work together. So this one was a matter of board vision and seeing the harmony between the pieces. Okay. First thing I'm doing is counting material. White is down a minor piece. And we have a few candidate moves. I mean, g5 is capturable, e6 is capturable. It's not obvious right off the bat. Although, the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm realizing I think there's a pretty strong option here. And it wasn't the first move that came to mind. I can give chat a little bit of time to think. Yeah, have a couple of people saying knight takes g5. And yeah, once you see this move and see the threats, it's I think it's pretty clear that black can't stop everything. Because knight takes g5 threatens this and this. And even though it looks like we're kind of pinned, I mean, black just has no defense to the threats. Yeah, so we win the queen here. Yeah, that was a nice one. Let's move on. Oh, I forgot to snooze ads. Okay. Ads are snoozed. Okay, 37. So, man, the sub count keeps increasing. So I'll try and get to 44. All right, so this one is equal material. A few things staring at each other. Queens and rooks. I didn't see it instantly, but I think I have a pretty good idea. For this one, it's about seeing a forcing sequence. Of course, starting with some capture. I have one person in chat who I think we have the same idea. Yeah, so here are the actually a lot of pieces in the position are tactical targets. And I mean, queen takes a3, bishop takes a3 is most forcing, and then knight c3, I think wins material for black. We hit the rook and bishop. If the rook defends the bishop, we take. Oh, but then we're not winning anything there because rook takes, we bishop takes. Am I missing something? Right. I still like the line, like queen a3, knight c3, rook defends a bishop. Ah, wow. So it goes very deep. So it's important not to reject this line too early. Queen takes a3, bishop takes a3, knight c3, rook defends, we takes. The line keeps going. Rook takes c1, bishop takes c1. And it's so important to visualize and see the whole board. And after bishop c1, we have bishop takes f3, pawn takes f3, and rook d1 hitting the king and bishop. And we win the bishop, we have the extra knight, and black is winning. Yeah, that was a pretty deep one. So just to show how it plays out, here, that's no fun. Although this is probably a better try for white. But rook e1 is more testing. Takes, in this. So what, like about a 5-move calculation? Okay, moving on. Okay, so we have an endgame. I think the first move is pretty... Actually, there's a couple candidate moves. At first, I was probably going to go deep into this rook d4 line, but I'm realizing we should at least look at this first, because if the king moves anywhere, we take the bishop. So let's say king e5. We take the bishop, takes, and then b2. And there's no rook b4 because our pawn. I mean, this move also looked really close to winning, though. But maybe it's not winning. Just for fun, I'm calculating king g3 takes c5, king g3 c4, king f2 c3, king e1. And yeah, it's not winning because c2, king d2. So important to check, take the bishop, and then promote the pawn. So I hope people are enjoying this, learning a thing or two. I don't do this too often. I think it's nice. It's like a nice different form of instructive chess. And it's a nice break from playing chess too. It's also good preparation because I have a upcoming tournament in Vegas I do want to prepare for. Okay, that's good to hear. Positive feedback. So it's getting a little bit more difficult. And this one looks very simple. Like push, 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 and make a queen. Anything we're missing? c5, king a4, c6. Black's way too slow with counterplay. Yeah, that was very simple. While you're in Vegas, maybe you can do a poker stream or two. Am I allowed to stream poker in the casino? I don't think I'm allowed to live stream. I know people have channels where they like vlog. Although I don't know how great that would turn out. I don't have too much experience filming poker. Oh, thank you, XX Pigeon XX. Okay, that increases our goal by 1. Oh yeah, Brad Owens. I went through a phase of watching Brad Owens. Yeah, this video has actually kind of inspired me to post this recent video of like what goes through my mind during a chess game, where I Like I filmed a tournament game recently. It was a rapid game against Kostya Kawutsky at the St. Louis Chess Club. And then after the fact, I did some like live analysis, or kind of pseudo live analysis of what I was thinking about during the game. All right, this one jumped out at me like right away. It's an idea that maybe can easily be overlooked, but like knowing that there's a tactic here, I think helps in some regard. And the move is very aesthetic. Yeah, some people see it. It's all about forking and winning material. I think the theme of this one is known as attraction. Attraction or decoy. We want to decoy the king to the square so we can fork. And the way to do that is to sacrifice our queen. Oh no, my queen. Someone call an ambulance, but not for me. Okay, that was nice. Yeah, very easy move to overlook. I mean, it's not a move that's like simple to consider. Sometimes the way that you find this move is by looking for the idea first. And very often, like the way that you find tactics is by looking for potential ideas in the position, and then those will lead you to finding the moves. Okay, this one's a classic one. This one's a very common type of opening trap. I'll go ahead here. So the queen is smothered, and we want to smother mate the queen. The way to do that is sack the bishop, check with a knight, and then bye-bye your queen. Off the schneed. Happy 39 months. Yeah, just to tangent a little bit, I'll show the most common opening trap where this happens. There's a line I like to play against a modern, which goes like this: bishop c4. And I've had a significant number of opponents. Yeah, I've had this position a lot online. I've had 9 players who've played knight d7 against me. Embarrassingly, I haven't played the best move. Some of these were bullet games. But the trap here, wow, over 250,000 games on Lichess. Only 8% of people find the best move. But yeah, bishop f7 wins the queen. This one's a little bit different compared to the one we just saw, because after takes knight g5, there's 3 legal moves, but all of them get crushed. King e8 is smothered against the queen. This is a fork. And then king f6 is the funniest. This just runs into checkmate. Oh, how are you finding the answers so fast? I've devoted tens of thousands of hours to chess. So a lot of these are patterns that I've seen before, and it's just about spotting the relevant theme in the position. But I know like when you're first starting puzzles, it can take time to absorb everything that's going on and figure out what's relevant and what to look for. But I'm doing my best to kind of talk through how I solve them. And they are getting a bit more difficult. All right, so this is interesting. There's definitely a forcing line to calculate. Now we should acknowledge white's threatening mate in 1, so there's not too many options here. In a position like this, we just kind of want to go down the most forcing route. And the most forcing move black can play here is knight f3 with the fork. We do sacrifice a knight. But then we have rook g5. Queen g4 is much better for black, so king h1. And then in that position, we're defending the g-pawn, so we have time to try and keep attacking. It looks like queen h3 is just crushing there, because then we're threatening 2 different mates in 1. And white can't really defend both of them. I guess still queen g4. We take. In the final position, we have a queen and pawn for rook and bishop. Should be a winning material advantage. Yeah, so this one, it's just about looking at forcing moves. Check, check, and then the maiden one threat. Okay. Man, I started Puzzle Streak, and how many people were subbed? I think there were like 20 something subs for the day. But now there's 47, so I'm trying to get to 47. And then hopefully I can play at least one more rapid game. All right, so bishop takes h2. Sorry, I should look at the full position. So materials equal. H2 and F2 are the obvious targets here. Bishop and rook attacking.
48.
Oh, 48. Thank you, Jackpot Jossie. Happy 6 months. Yeah, bishop h2 is just the most forcing move. So I'm going to start calculating this. Takes queen h4, king g1, queen f2, king goes back. And then in that position, the queen is overworked. It's defending the rook and the bishop, so we can take. And if takes, takes. And we win material.
49 now, lol.
Oh, thank you, Pammy J. All right. Let's move a little bit quicker here. Yeah, just to show. There's probably multiple winning moves here. But bishop d3 is simplest. Oh, bishop d3 is the only move. Yeah, I could have kept going then. Whoa, it's Jaltigon. I might be here forever. Thank you, Jaltigon, gifting 5. Increasing the number to 54. All right, so this one, there's a lot happening. And the first thing that stands out is this queen on d3, which makes me think maybe we can exploit it. Although we're not trapping it because queen g6. Got the puzzle train. Thank you, Jane Galt. Now, the other thing to realize, okay, black has just played this move trying to exploit the fact that the pawn was overworked. So if we take the bishop, we lose our knight. But can we somehow win material here? And I think we can. Very important candidate move to look at is rook e3. Attacking the queen and defending the knight. Black will be able to try and save the bishop with queen g6, pinning the pawn. Hey, it's Lexine. Got the train of hype. Appreciate it. Okay, let's not lose our thought process. Rook e3, queen g6, and then knight h4, which does everything. It hits the queen, defends the pawn, and unleashes a rook to win the bishop, and the queen moves here to attack the knight. We take the bishop and defend our own knight, and then we win the piece. So rook e3, knight h4, and take. Thank you, Gabriel. Yeah, thanks everyone. I'm glad people are enjoying this. I really hope I don't lose this streak. It's not easy. Or it's getting more difficult. So this one, it seems like we don't really have any obvious forcing moves, but I think there is a strong idea. Materials equal. The first move I'm looking at is queen h3, which is not a check, it's not a capture. It's not an obvious attack. But the idea is to play knight g4 and checkmate. And surprisingly, it doesn't seem like white has any resources. Because f3 runs into this. I guess f4... But f4 we en passant and g3 is still attacked. And that cuts off the queen from defending g3. And if queen e3, knight g4, we lose a pawn, but we're mating in the end. Yeah, if this were like a slow game, I'd spend a lot of time looking for options for white. But I'm not seeing anything. Oh, g4. Oh, I should have looked at g4. g4 is a interesting try. And here there's actually a really nice move for black. A queen g4 looks simple. I wonder how many people would take with a knight and blunder the queen. But yeah, the knockout blow is knight f3. And then after takes, yeah, we take the queen. Otherwise, there's no stopping mate. Okay. Interesting position. I will admit I don't see anything super obvious right away. I'm still trying to internalize what the situation is here. White's down. So basically, white has a rook for knight and two pawns. Material wise, it's imbalanced, but okay. Point wise, it's equal. There's no obvious checks or captures. I think I have an idea of what the best move is. I'm not super convinced. For this one, I'm actually not looking at chat because I don't want to be influenced or see any spoiler. Like there's a move I'm looking at, but then I see a response for black and I'm not seeing what to do after that. Ah, there's a different move I'm looking at. But does that work? Okay, I will say the two candidate moves are rook h3 and rook takes g5. They both have threats. Of course, this is a sacrifice. It requires calculation. This threatens rook g5. I think want to start looking at this a bit more deeply. Because after takes, we're then down a full knight. But are we crashing through with attack? So the first thing to note, rook f1 doesn't really do much because king g2. And if the knight moves, knight doesn't really have a square to move to. Like, I guess knight h4, knight h4, queen g8, king h6. Wait, is there a win there? Imagine that would be winning, but okay, let's try and be organized with the thought process. Okay, knight h4. Yeah, there's too many good looking checks. For one, there's rook h5 and take the knight, and the resulting position should be good. Rook h4 here, check. And we win the queen. So I mainly want to focus on takes, and queen g7. Oh, queen g7, rook h5. Well, maybe it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, I was initially looking at rook h3, but then king g7 doesn't look like white has anything. But after rook takes g5, takes, yeah, the threat of queen g6, I don't think there's a good response for black. But to be absolutely sure about this one, we have to see that black doesn't have any effective defense. Maybe it's worth calculating knight f8. Knight f8, queen h3. Same case with any other knight move. So really, after takes, queen g7, knight h4 seem like the best tries. Queen g7, there's rook h5. So let me be completely sure about knight h4. So I was thinking rook h5. So I wanted to play queen g8, but wasn't super clear. H5, king g7. And maybe I just take. No, I have queen h6 there. Ah, okay. I'm spending a long time here, but I'm trying to be absolutely sure. So knight h4, rook h5, king h6, queen h6, or king g7, queen h6. King moves here, we win the queen. Man, but there's rook f1 mate in the end. So then we probably just take the knight and the king is so exposed. And there's nothing else it can be. So I'm looking at chat. Okay, people spotted rook h5. One person says Kugelbush. Okay, let's go for this. Yeah, king g2, only sensible move. Oh, okay, this is a harmless check. Queen c4, king. I guess like there's a queen trade, but then it's a winning ending. Let's look at knight h4. Wow. Okay, so rook h5 is force mate. I'm saying wow because queen h3 apparently is winning, which I did not consider. But rook h5. Yeah, just rook takes knight. I was looking at queen h6, but yeah, there's a lot of ways to win here. So what's the line here? And then queen queen f7, rook h7, or mate in 2. Okay. As we go on, these puzzles take more and more time. Although this one looks actually very simple. Yeah, this one should only take a few seconds. Rook a4, not quite legal. Bishop h6. And then the thing to understand is after takes, we don't take back because then we subject ourselves to checks. Although maybe that's okay. King h7. But yeah, bishop h6 is just crushing. Wait, I'm a little bit confused though. Because after, I mean, takes and king g7 both look winning. And with all of these puzzles, like there's only one correct move. So now I have to figure out why one of these moves isn't winning. Ah, takes, check, goes back, rook g5. Okay, so we have to play king g7. Good job to Wind Waver, spotting the rook g5 resource. Yeah, I was looking for ways for white to exploit the king, but it's just about saving the queen. Okay, approaching 50. Our goal is 55 now. Yeah, this is another one of these like takes sequences. And it actually looks pretty simple. Although now I'm realizing, yeah, there's some tricks here. So initially, okay, the two main moves to look at are bishop takes c3 and queen takes b5. Bishop c3 looks simple because if takes, we take with check, and then we're going to be up a piece. And if takes back, we win the queen, and then again we win a piece. But the thing that's a little bit tricky is after bishop takes c3, there's queen e2. And are we winning a piece there? Like I want to go for bishop c3, queen e2, king d8, and then after bishop takes, there's rook e8, but then bishop e5. I mean, it looks very, very good. And maybe we have some like knight g4, f4, and then f6. Yeah, maybe this is something not to overthink. And the other line I'll touch on briefly, queen b5, knight takes b5, bishop d2. Yeah, we're not getting anything there. Let's see if it plays queen b2 or queen to e2. No. Okay. Yeah, just win the piece. Why not queen e6 check? I didn't even consider queen e6 check. I should have. It does run into queen e2 though. Yeah, so just to show this line, I mean, both these moves are probably winning. It's just about getting a rook to e8. After takes here, the calculation was knight g4. Multiple winning moves though. And then I was looking at f4, f6, h3, we can take with knight. Okay. One more until 50. I think we're rewarded with an easy one. White to move mate into check and mate. Okay. Got to 50. Let's go. There we go. So for this one, We're forked, obviously. We're also down a pawn. So we have to do something about that. The move that comes to mind is queen b3. Because if takes, we win the knight. And if either rook is taken, we win the bishop and then win the knight. And the resulting position may seem like it's close to equal material. 2 minor pieces for rook and pawn. But 2 bishops for rook and pawn almost always benefits the 2 bishops pretty drastically. So I'm going to go for this. Take. Yeah. Some people might get stuck on this, not realizing how good it is for white. As crazy that engine just gives +5 here. Because point-wise, it is equal material. But the 2 bishops, especially with queens on the board and attacking potential, there's ideas of this and this and this. Yeah, there's also nothing else apart from queen b3. So some of these we can solve with the process of elimination. Okay, weird situation here. So for a lot of these, I just count material right away. Black is currently down 2 pawns. But how can we exploit the knight and or queen? If we take, we lose our thing. If we take, we're not trapping the knight because knight g5. Which leads me to rook e7. Attacking the queen. Not trapping the queen. The queen can move back, but then we take the knight. We might lose a pawn there. And this is another case where the resulting position might be equal point-wise because white will have 3 pawns for a piece. But position-wise, black's going to have a crushing attack. The extra minor piece and the open files. So rook e7. Yeah, take. Engine gives -3. Which is, it's not completely winning, but it's, yeah, very, very good chances for black. Okay, moving on. Can I get to 55 before midnight? Have 11 minutes left. There's some things happening here. So, again, I'm counting material. White's up a pawn. Our queen, knight, and rook are attacked. Oh no, someone call an ambulance. But not for me, or not for us. Yeah, this one's actually quite nice. It's an oh no, my queen. We don't have to move the queen because we can make a bigger threat. We take the rook. Wait, let's calculate. Take the rook. Yeah, if takes or takes, it's mate. Oh no, my queen. Oh no, white's queen. Yeah, we just take. And we're on material. Okay, that was a cool one. 53. Wow. So white has a strong attacking setup. But how do we win? And there's a few candidate moves. There's h6, there's takes, there's queen coming in. Queen h6 does not seem to be the move. Yeah, a position like this, I feel like a lot of people can play the right move intuitively. To calculate it, it's a little bit annoying because I think the strongest move has a lot of responses that black can play. But intuitively, I think it's just h6. Just, yeah, bust open like the G and H files. And we can take a look at a few example lines. like, let's say the bishop takes on e2, and we take on g7. And then we're already threatening rook h8 takes and mate. The bishops don't really help defend. Bishop g5, we just take. Another line is if takes, takes. And again, the king is just running out of defenses. Takes. We have queen h6 here in mate. So relying a bit more on intuition here. But all the other moves just don't seem to be as effective. Yeah. I guess we could consider rook takes. But then, yeah, that gives time for black to play rook f7. Taking just looks much stronger. Rook takes g6 still maybe keeps some edge. Knight d4 as well. But all about finding the best move. Okay, let's do one more. King a5. So which way are the pawns going? We're black. Have we been black every puzzle? I think every puzzle we've been black, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't even realize that it's yeah, maybe we just stay the same color. Oh, thank you, Unrivaled Super Hottie. Okay, now the target is 56. Oh no, we were white the last puzzle. What am I saying? Short-term memory. Okay. Just remembering some other puzzles had the black pieces. All right. We're black, so the pawns are moving this way. So the most obvious move is this. I think it's really the only move. Otherwise, white will just take the pawn and it's a draw. But we should still calculate. So pawn f2, bishop there. If we push it to draw, well, we could start with this. Let's start with this. Okay, then we can start calculating. So it's very important to understand, if we allow the bishop to trade for the pawn, then it's impossible to win because the king is just going to stay in the corner. And you can't win with the rook pawn and the bishop of the opposite color of the corner. So seems like the key to winning this is to chase the bishop away from covering the square. And we also have to deal with white's pawns. I mean, really the only logical move is king here. And then what's the calculation? Pawn here. We can take. So let's just calculate. So takes, takes, takes. King b5. King d4, king c4, bishop e2, king c3. King here, here, here. And takes in here. Or if bishop here, we take, take, and then here. I think it's all working out. And part of this is process of elimination too. Like, we have to win the pawn first. Okay. Let's just verify. So pawn here, only winning move. Yeah, this could have gone on, looks like, is to take. And then takes. Oh, and then there's multiple ways to win, because anytime we can throw in the check. Okay, let's get to 56. Queen f4. So what's happening here? Materials equal. Kings are on opposite sides. As black, we want to checkmate, but the queen's defending h2. So the first type of idea that comes to mind is removal of the guard. Like g5 seems like a major candidate move. Simply wanting to chase the queen away so we can mate. There's queen c4 though. Check. Oh, thank you, Anna the First, with a prime sub. Upping our counter to 57. As we go higher, I slow down too. What to do? Okay, let's not be lazy here. So g5, queen c4. That's not a reason to reject the move because we do have this move. And we say uno or rook, and then we checkmate. It gets a little bit messy, like queen c4, rook c6, g3. Oh no, g3 doesn't work. Well, maybe it's pretty clean then. So e5. E5, there's queen f5, and then we can't block the check and attack the queen. So g5, queen c4, rook c6. h3 is maybe the best try, but we win the queen. So again, I'm spending time to look for white's resources, and I'm not really seeing much. So let's go for g5. Rook c6. Yeah. Okay. I thought h3 was a better try. Oh, I guess this just runs into trouble even more quickly. Crushing attack. Okay. Okay, let's do one more and get to 57. Oops. Earbud fell out. Okay. So, observing what's going on. We have strong knight and bishop. Now we are down a piece here. Our knight's attacked. There's a few candidate moves. Queen h4 and pawn takes pawn. Queen h4. Yeah, I'm realizing that this is a double threat. We're threatening to take here, but we're also aligning with a white queen, which is not defended, so we're threatening knight e3 to win the queen. So does white have a defense after queen h4? Oh yeah, queen g5 would hang the queen. But queen h4, I think, is like winning white's king or queen. Knight f3, knight e3 is nice. h3 doesn't help. I guess there's bishop f4, maybe the best try. But then, yeah, I think we just take the bishop. Hey, it's Swole. What's up, Swole? Appreciate the raid. If you're just joining, I'm doing Puzzle Streak. I'm trying to get to 57. Shout out to Swole. So if you're just joining, yeah, we're getting to the more difficult puzzles. For this one, I'm calculating queen h4, the threat of this and this to win the queen. And I'm looking at bishop f4. It seems like there's multiple ways to win, like pawn takes pawn and then take the bishop. Maybe rook takes could work. Let's just go for this. Yeah, and then knight e3. Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, thankfully we have queen g4. I should have seen that though. Queen g4 and then we take the queen. Okay. It was kind of fortunate. Okay. Got to 57. So I started Puzzle Streak with the goal to get to the number of current subscribers for the stream. There's been 57 subs or resubs or gifted subs so far. Got to that number.
Happy June.
Oh, thank you, Xcalo. So upping the number to 58. But I'm going to save this tab and I'm going to pivot to Rapid Chess. I did start the stream with a Rapid Chess game. So I'll play at least one more game and then I'll try and get to whatever the sub count is. Oh, playing Pap-G. Strong player. I do have a plus score against Pap-G. I believe this is Gulia Pop. Okay, this is going to be a very serious rapid game. I think Pap-G is also a streamer, if I'm not mistaken. Higher rated opponent too. I do want to manage my time. I'm muting alerts. Okay, bishop e5. I was studying this line like recently. I actually, man, I discovered a new idea in this line, and then I only saw the new idea and I didn't look further. But this is a new idea, c4. It's like a super rare move. The engine just spat it out. And the only thing I know is it's bad for black to take the bishop. If black takes the bishop, I'll have to figure out why. I meant to prepare this more deeply. Anyway, okay, it's cool to get a bit of opening prep. Like a pretty new London idea. Provoking my opponent to take their time. I do remember the engine is giving like a very slight edge to white if black finds the right line. Yeah, e6 I think is the best move. Now do I take? Probably bishop g3. I'll have to look at this line in more depth. Yeah, it's too bad the bishop wasn't taken. It could have been a fun position. I'll share after the game what would happen. So now, okay, knight takes g3 is not played. I could consider this move. I think I'd like to take with pawn. Keep a pawn in the center. So I'm actually calculating like takes 95. So fresh from doing all those puzzles. Not sure how great that is for me though. Takes 95, takes, not sure. I could play c5 as a move. It does relieve the pressure on the center though. c5, bishop c7. Takes 95. I think I'll start with c5. It's kind of an intuitive decision. I do make the prospect of e5 a bit more enticing for black. I mean, the hope is that I have this 95 move. Do I want to play it right away? Take first. Realizing, wait, takes, 95 takes, g6. So maybe bishop b5. Yeah. I probably have to castle. It's going to be a struggle in the center. Like the whole focus is around this e5 break. I don't think black can play it right away. But taking first makes sense. e5 comes. Yeah, and I don't want to take the knight. Probably a bit worse here. I take. Taking looks very bad. But I might have to take. Take and then rook e1. Yeah, black has the center and the bishop pair. Taking queen a4. Start by taking. I also take. I don't want to concede the bishop though. Queen a4. There's queen b3. Queen b3 could be interesting. So the idea is I'm preventing e4 because knight takes e4. I might have ideas of knight e4 like anyway. And I want to get the rooks to the center quickly to pressure the pawns. The thing is, if black adequately defends the pawns, I'm probably just much worse. But if I can somehow like win a pawn or provoke a pawn to move and get a center square, maybe it's playable. Like rook e1 is probably an idea. For example, bishop e6, rook e1, and I'm threatening to take the pawn. There's queen f6 there. That doesn't look good for me. I think my whole idea just fails. Unless, wait, I have this move first. Oh, my whole idea just fails. Because I probably play this move first. I want to take, but knight a5 is very, very strong. Sacking a piece doesn't work. So, yeah, not a happy moment. And I want to take again, but rook b8. The tactics are all in black's favor. So, it's going to be tough to come back here. Like, even though I'm not down material, it's just such a good position for black. A file, bishop a6 might happen. Maybe I can resort to some trickiness. Like, at least there's a target. Maybe queen a4 at some point. Rook b8 looks playable. Rook b8 takes. Okay. That's also playable. Yeah, there's so many things to be concerned about here. Queen c3 runs into this. Let's play queen e3. Defending some targets. Have a feeling this move's going to happen. But maybe I'm barely holding things together. There's a line knight b3, a5, rook d1, a4, knight c1. Like bishop a6, rook e1. I want to play knight e2. It's possible a lot of my next moves will be defensive moves. Yeah, that's strong. I'm considering like sacking exchange. b4. I could play rook d1 immediately, actually. So then if bishop e5, I have other options. But now my queen's tied down to f2, so just have to be very tactically alert. One plan is b4, a4, b5, which is no longer possible. Rook b1 runs into bishop d3. How do I even defend? b3. b3, bishop e5. Knight f1. Knight f1, bishop d3. Wow. I think I'm just losing material. I have knight b3 right away. It's so ugly though. I'm trying knight b3. Yeah, there's so much pressure here. This was one of my original ideas. Problem, yeah, the problem is bishop e5, bishop d3. How to defend. And black's position is so strong. Rook b1. Positions like this, you just have to make the opponent like earn the win. Hold on for dear life. This move's coming though. Any way to sack? Knight c2. Knight c2, d4. Don't hurt me. If I take, taking doesn't work. Wait, what about taking here? Bishop b1. Almost works. Knight f3, bishop e1. Rook d3, pawn d3. Knight f3. Maybe that's the best try? At least my horsies can find some life. I sacked exchange. What else to do? Ooh. Bishop d4 is maybe coming, but I have queen c1. I'm just trying to hold on to my horsies. Yeah, practically, maybe there's still some hope. That's a terrifying move. Wait, can I take? Nah, taking queen takes. I'm so angry. Knight e5 doesn't work. Some f4 idea. G5 might be coming. G5 is probably coming. Or not. I gotta go YOLO. Like queen c4, queen f5. He stops it. Take. Nice move. I missed that one. Take, take. Oh no, my horsey. Keep queens on the board. You never know. There's always blunder possibilities. Unlikely though. Oh. Uh, I tried to at least create counterplay, but yeah, final position was losing. Good game. It was fun to try and get this like new London idea that I wanted to keep secret for a little bit longer. But opponent, I guess, didn't take the bishop, which is a poison piece. Let's just show the line that after. Yeah, it's crazy. Like when I think the way I discovered this line, so I was analyzing a recent game where my opponent played knight h5. I just turned on the engine, and c4 is one of the top moves. Oh, but it's only after bishop e5. Yeah, so bishop e5, f6 is the main line. And then here, c4 is a top computer move, which before a few days ago, I'd never seen before. It's only been played a handful of times. And yeah, the best move for black is what my opponent played. F takes e5. So let's see, the reason why this isn't good for black is white gets initiative. And after queen takes d5, bishop c4. So how does this go? Queen d6? Wow, so it's very specific. There's knight g5 hitting this and threatening this. Maybe this. Apparently, it's enough compensation for white. So there's one game between Gupta and Gandhi, featured knight b4, knight takes e5, knight f6, bishop b5, bishop d7. Wow, so white doesn't quite win back the piece, but white's just dominating here. Like knight a6 runs into queen h5, queen g5, rook g8, queen e6, rook h8, knight e4, threatening mate. Threatening two different mates. Oh, that's a really funny line. So if black like forks the queen and bishop, white can choose which checkmate. This is a more aesthetic mate, taking advantage of both pins. So in the one game that featured this line, black played a6 counterattacking, and this allows white to win back the piece after takes, and takes. And white has not lost a single pawn until the next move. But then after takes, queen a4 check, yeah, white's in such good shape. I mean, not only up a pawn, but yeah, crushing position. So, that was maybe what could have happened in an alternate universe. But my opponent, yeah, played very solidly, pawn e6. I played bishop g3, and after takes... Oh, I should have taken with knight. Yeah, it's the type of thing, like if I studied this line way more in depth, I should be prepared here. Both moves are playable, though. So, I guess in this line, the knights could get traded. Ah. This I did not consider. Takes in g3. Makes some sense. Keep the tension. And the knight's kind of out of play. c5 was just a positional mistake. I think for the rest of the game, I was worse. Yeah. Opponent played really well. Perfect game. A grandmaster level play. But I think like from the moment I played c5, like the moves were very natural for black. I was thinking I could clamp down. I initially wanted to play knight e5. I think in this line, takes knight e5. But it doesn't work because g6 and then I'm losing d4. Okay. Can't be too upset. Oh, people enjoy that one. How a grandmaster crushes my London opening. Probably put that one on YouTube. That was a nice YouTube-worthy game. Shout out to my opponent, too, who is in the midst of another game, but is also a streamer and has a YouTube channel and a chessable course. Did we look at the rook b2 position? At what moment, though? Yeah, it was pretty dire situation. After rook f e8. Oh, yeah. I mean, I wanted to do this, but there's queen takes. Maybe it's the best. Oh! I didn't see the knight defense. Okay, it's still losing, so I don't feel so bad for missing this. Yeah, I didn't realize my knight can take the queen. So takes, takes, takes. But it's losing because after I lose the a pawn, it's knights are not good at stopping the outside passer. Anything saving us for bishop e4? I don't know what moment that refers to. Pawn e4. It was hard to stop pawn e4 actually. In most of the lines, e4 is white's next move. Oh, bishop e5. Yeah, it's a very hard move to stop. If I ever play f4, it's just too weakening en passant. Oh, hello to Anna the First. I'm not gonna do game review right now, but maybe in a future stream I could do like user submitted games. But generally, also I probably like to look at human versus human games and not human versus human plus engine games. So anyway, yeah, future streams will have different types of content. I am due for a viewer challenge stream. This stream, it was mainly playing a few rapid games, solving some puzzles. We're up to 60 subs for the stream, so let's try and get to 60 in the puzzle streak. Okay, I didn't close the tab. So I left off at 57. I'll do a few more. Okay, so I'm trying to adjust back to puzzle mode. This is white to move. A lot of chaos. White has lost a rook. Let's just see the full game. How did this come to be? 4 knights. Symmetry. Wow, knight d5. Is this an opening? Queen e2. Some crazy gambit. And there's no way this is good for white. At first it looks like a cool opening, but black had rook f7, I think. So here white is winning. But how? I mean, okay, so we're down a full rook, but there's some potential x-ray vision. Knight f6. So there's a bunch of forcing moves to consider. I'm not even sure what to start looking at first. So knight h6. If pawn takes, we check and we win the queen. So knight h6, king h8. Do we have anything there? I'm not seeing anything. So what about knight f6 first? Black would have to take. And then we move the knight. Ah, we move the knight to d6. I was looking at towards the king side, but yeah, knight d6 wins the queen. Yeah, looks like we just win the queen in a few moves. It was about move order and spotting this move, which should have been under my radar sooner. So let's go for it. Okay, let's do 2 more. Also, at some point it passed midnight. Did I acknowledge that? Happy June. Maybe for some people it's still May. Shout out to the West Coast. But it's June in the Midwest. We have, what do we have here? We're down a pawn. Most of our pieces aimed at the king side. It seems like the two moves to look at are bishop e6 and rook f7. And honestly, at first glance, both moves look pretty strong. So is there a reason why one of them doesn't work? I guess. Wait, so rook f7. We're threatening rook f8 mate. There's something like c4 we take on e7. So take here. Black would take, and that looks winning. Because the queen has no way to defend f7. So why not take first? I guess there's takes. And if we take, the rook doesn't have to take. Otherwise, that would transpose into the initial calculation. Black would have rook to e8 there. Oh, but rook e8, rook f8. And takes, and we're mating. So I'm trying to spot the difference between these lines. Takes. I wonder if black has like rook e8 or rook e takes e6. So if we take and then rook e takes e6 and then take and then rook e8. So part of this is just understanding why one of these moves doesn't work for white. And that might be the reason why. So queen defends g7 from a distance. And yeah, even if we win the a pawn, then it's, I guess we're up a pawn, but there's like rook g6. Black should have sufficient counterplay. Yeah, I'm more inclined to play rook f7 because it just seems way more straightforward. Okay, some discussion in chat. I think the key is eliminating one of the moves. And I'd like to eliminate bishop takes e6 because of rook e takes e6. Here and then here. I don't see... Unless there's rook f6? No, queen f6. Yeah, I don't see a huge edge for white. Meanwhile, this line seems very promising. So let's go for it. Yeah. This is one of the first things I looked at. Queen f6 we can take. Okay. So for this one, I think it's important to check bishop takes e6. And it's better for white, but it's not absolutely winning. Oh, I was wrong though. So wait, why is this not good for black? Rook e7. Wow. Anyone spot that? It's a hard thing to spot, like, digging into these lines. The idea is f takes, queen c8, and white's mating. So the better move is to take with this rook after takes h6. Only way to survive. Yeah, so this is a type of puzzle that if I was like solving this from a book and not from the trainer, I would not give myself full credit. Even though I decided on the right move, it was for not quite the right reason. Anyway, I'm fortunate to not lose my streak. Let's do one more. Or maybe I can answer questions. Rook f7. In what line though? Oh, after this line. Or no. Not sure which line that refers to. H6. Yeah, if here. Also, when both rooks are on the F file, you can't say rook F7. You have to say like rook 8 F7 or rook 1 F7. But white doesn't have any effective way to win here. Oh, in this line, here. Yeah. Oh, so here, yeah, rook F7 is a follow up. I guess it goes on though. Rook G6, Queen E2, and rook E8's now a threat. And if H6, rook E8 takes. Wow. That's all winning because in the final position, black doesn't have enough checks. Queen E1's prevented. If not for the queen on E8, black would have at least like some perpetual almost. Okay, yeah, that was a tricky one. This one looks very, very simple. But maybe it's not. I mean, okay, there's queen b7, which maybe some people would gravitate towards. I immediately gravitate towards planet Earth because it has the strongest gravitational pull. I'm also gravitating towards queen takes f4, takes and takes. Win the rook. So here, I mean, there's queen d5, knight e4, or knight f3. Thank you, Bayleaf. Yeah, I think it's a matter of deciding between this and this. I should at least look at some of these lines. But, I mean, just king h6. And then if here we, black would take, and then white gets mated. So it seems pretty easy to reject queen b7. Okay. Oh, and because Bayleaf subscribed, that's going to boost today's sub count to 61. And we just did 60, so one more to do. Oh, now two more to do. I'll come back, Modern Fortune Teller. At least Chess will restart in 9 minutes. All right. I'll try and get two more before 9 minutes is up. All right, so we got 3 snipers, all directed towards the king side. A few moves come to mind. Should also note black is down a piece, so gotta deal with that somehow. And f4 was one of the first moves that came to mind. Along with this, g5 is also on my radar. I think it's important to note the queen is hitting e6. Now I'm looking at a third move. Wow, it's just forced mate. Yeah, there's a really nice move here. Okay, some people have found it. Some people probably found it quicker than me. Yeah, this is a really nice idea. White to move, mate in 3. It kind of comes out of nowhere. Like, you don't really assume that this would work. I wonder if it was found in the game. I wonder if there's a way to check. But yeah, the move is to sacrifice a queen. And then bishop b8. And the bishops combine with a pawn. It's just checkmate. So how do I see what happened in the game? Oh, queen c6 was played. And then rook g1 and black's not winning. That's a tough miss. Okay. That was a nice one. Oh, it's a king pawn ending. Okay. So it's all about eventually winning one of the pawns and queening. So I think that, I mean, the obvious move to start with is this, and then depending where black goes, we'll choose between these squares. I don't think there's anything else really to look at. This doesn't make any sense. And this move runs into this move. So let's start with this. And then we can calculate. But again, I think it's pretty straightforward. King e8, we get opposition. And then after king g7, we're going to win the pawn. And then we'll have to calculate maybe a little bit further. But yeah, this seems pretty simple. King e7. Yeah, and just to show how this would play out, king here, here, here. The simplest way to win this is maybe the only way. Probably these moves win. All the moves win. But simplest way, of course, is to push the pawn. And then whichever way the king goes, we go the other way. And then we're just going to play off6, win the pawn, and then queen. This position, I think, would be winning even without this pawn. Actually, I take that back. If white didn't have this pawn, it would depend whose move it is. I guess we do need this pawn. So here, yeah, we can check here. Yeah, we do need this pawn to defend, and then after this, we'll win the pawn. Yeah, it would be funny actually if white didn't have this pawn and got to this position. White's losing because white's in Zugzwang, and then oh no, our f pawn. Okay, 62. I think that does it for this stream. To be continued. To be continued. Thanks everyone for watching. Happy June. Oh, it's Gwifty. Okay, I'll do one more. I'll do one more. Let's get to 63. Thank you, Gwifty. Lichess will restart in 4 minutes. All right, let's solve this before the restart. This looks very simple. I mean, there's two candidate moves. This walks into this, but this, white has two legal moves. If this, it's winning. And here, here, here. I mean, there's a check. But even in the lines with a check, I think we just walk back to f7. The pawn's not being stopped. Okay. All right, simple enough. Okay. Now it's time to end the stream. So again, I hope people enjoyed the content. I played two fun rapid games. I hit my rapid peak and then I lost to a strong GM. But solved a lot of puzzles, kept the streak. I'll keep this tab open. And then I'll continue this for the next stream. The next stream will probably be sometime in the future. So stay tuned. Don't forget to follow. I do apologize for the internet, like the internet just dying at some moment, but it was revived. And I did have some kind of request earlier to raid a chill streamer. Danya's pretty chill. Send a raid to Danya. doing some high level speed chess. So raid is carrying over. Send some good vibes. And yeah, thanks again. I will be having a collab coming up with Andrea Botes. We had to reschedule. Originally, I think it was going to be tomorrow, but will probably be sometime next week. So do stay tuned, and I'll see you guys soon. Adios.